Welcome, it's Denome, and this is a market update for the Bitcoin and crypto markets, and lately we have been terrifyingly correct. So for the last 2 weeks, you can see here, once we got rejected here, or even before that, I've been calling out basically that we're headed downwards. And then we called 9 days ago that the dump will continue most likely, and it actually did. And then we actually expected that there might be some pullback. We got the pullback, and just 2 days ago we expected that this pump was fake. We saw the whales were selling Bitcoin, and now I'm telling you that Bitcoin is about to pump once again. So let's see if my streak will end or we are correct once again. Let's see what will happen. But let me explain what the situation is with the markets and why I think we might have a pump. First off, we're currently looking at the 1 hour chart here, and the interesting part here is obviously this RSI breakout. So we have an RSI breakout to the upside, and sometimes that means that we will have some form of bullish momentum to the upside once that happens. Next up, we have an RSI divergence. So as you can see, we have higher lows on the RSI while we had a lower low on the chart itself. So in the 1 hour chart, it just looks like the momentum is about to shift and we are gonna shoot upwards. So just looking at the chart, it looks like we are about to have a bounce. And then again, also when we take a look at the longer time frame, you can see we have a lower low on the RSI and we have a higher low on the actual chart, also pointing to a potential pump in the near term. So the chart in the short term just looks quite bullish to me. When we take a look at the volume here, you can see the trading volume has gone down as well, which signals to me that the interest of selling Bitcoin has actually withered down as well. So just a lot of indicators on the chart alone that kind of point me that we're about to have a nice pump very, very soon. Next up, let's take a look at what ETFs are doing. ETF buying, selling. I don't know why this is looking. We saw some buying here once we had some green numbers. Now we have seen some selling. So nothing really interesting in the ETFs, but we're not seeing a lot of selling. That's the interesting part here, that the selling has kind of stopped on this chart. But now the most important chart, which is here on the Santiment tool, which is a tool what I use to basically look under the hood of Bitcoin. And I have built this dashboard here, and looking at this dashboard, there's a couple of interesting points here. First is you can see the supply on exchanges has started to grow. So you are seeing that some people actually want to trade Bitcoin. They may even want to sell Bitcoin when this is going upwards. So that's interesting that they want to trade Bitcoin and put it on the exchanges. So that's not exactly bullish, but it's something that people just do when they want to sell Bitcoin. But the interesting part here, obviously, in my opinion, most interesting part is looking at the wallet sizes of different people. So when we take a look at the total amount of Bitcoin holders or wallets, the amount of wallets that have any amount of Bitcoin, this is still going down. So we are seeing basically retail people selling. But take a look at what the whales are doing right now. So you are seeing that the red line bottomed here at 101 wallets, and that's the size of 10,000 to 100,000 Bitcoin inside their wallets. And you can see that they started to accumulate Bitcoin once again. So now the wallet size is 102. It dropped all the way to 100. Now it's 102 wallets. You can see the next level, which is 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin wallets. Those have actually increased. The 100 to 1,000 have decreased as of the latest dump here. But I would not regard them as the big whales, and all of the other ones have basically increased. So you are seeing whale accumulation now. You see the yellow increase, you see the red increase, you see the pink increase. So I think the whales have actually bought this bottom as well. So there's now a lot of different indicators pointing to me that a pump is very, very likely. And even when we take a look at the dormant circulation of Bitcoin, which is the the wallets that have held Bitcoin for more than a year. So wallets that have not moved Bitcoin for a year, when they move Bitcoin, that makes a spike in the chart. So you can see that even though we had this latest move to the downside, we're not seeing a lot of old wallets selling at this level. So again, another reason basically to point out that the selling pressure is slowing down. And sometimes you can see that we had a big spike here, then a little bit shorter spike, then the spikes basically just become lower and lower, and that's when we have the price increases. So I think a similar thing is about to happen here. We're seeing lower spikes of these old wallets selling, so we're seeing basically that the sell pressure is exhausting, at least in the short term. Something else interesting here, not really. The miners are not selling either. So I think the dump is basically done, at least for in the short term. And this situation may obviously change in the future as time passes, but all in all, it looks quite nice. Another interesting part obviously here is the MVRV ratio as well. I don't know if I can explain what it is. Let's actually take a look at it to see exactly what it is. But I'll first show the chart and then I will explain what it is. So when this is in the negative, it's basically showing that Bitcoin is oversold. When it's on the positive, it shows that it is being a little bit in a bubble probably, and then when it comes back to the central line here, that is potentially a bottom in a bull market. So we're basically closing up on the middle line once again, and that might be a decent time to get Bitcoin. And when we take a look at previous bull runs, how this has actually behaved, let's go back even further. You can see that sometimes it makes these crashes, and they may happen, they may even happen this time as well, but at least we're not in a bubble territory anymore, and we haven't even reached these bubble territories during this bull run, at least yet. So I don't know if Bitcoin will pump further to the upside, like break even the new all-time highs, but at least in the short term, it looks like there's potential for upwards momentum. That's basically my take here. So maybe it just completely crashes to the downside, but it looks like whales are buying. The chart is supporting a short-term pump in the near term. So that's why I'm basically calling that this is probably a local bottom. But as I said before, I've had a terrifying streak for now, for the last couple of weeks, basically predicting these small price moves. So if this video is still correct, I will basically have to go and buy lottery tickets, because at the end of the day, we're talking about probabilities. So even if you are probabilistically 70% right, you are still wrong 30% of the time. So nobody has 100% track record, right? So for that reason, I'm just expecting my streak to end any time now. So I could be completely wrong here. So take this advice with a grain of huge amounts of salt. But anyway, that's my analysis of the charts at this moment in time, and you may disagree or agree. I want to know your thoughts in the comments, because there are always things that I miss, I don't know about, I forget, and I don't emphasize enough. So I want to have your feedback on this analysis as well. So finally, let's actually take a look at what the global liquidity is doing, because we have been tracking this, and you can see that the global liquidity has actually started to increase once again. So we haven't crashed below the let's say, I don't know if this is a bearish or bullish line, but this line has been valid since 2008. So if we go below it on the daily view, this is the monthly view already. If we go below it on the daily view, it might be a little bit scary for the markets, but at least as of now, we are having the pump on the daily one, like I showed there. So that's basically all of the update for today. I don't want to talk about altcoins, but altcoins might have. Actually, let's talk about altcoins. Let's take a look at the total too, which is the altcoin market cap basically. So we take out Bitcoin market cap, we take out the dollar market cap as well. So for this one, this is a little bit scary, because here we are once again in the bearish territory. And for altcoins, these might actually still go lower while Bitcoin is having a rip to the upside. So altcoins, not exactly my favorite thing in the world, but for Bitcoin, I have taken a small bullish bet. But for altcoins, I'm still a little bit iffy on the altcoins at least. But some altcoins are doing pretty well. Like Tron is surprising me. It's now back to 13 cents, which it hasn't been for a long time. It's just pumping, which is just quite interesting. But anyway, I don't want to go into that rabbit hole in this video. I hope you like this short update video. I hope you get value out of it, and please leave those comments below or join the Discord, because I want to continue the conversation there as well. Anyway, that's it. Thanks and bye bye.